This is Newcap News with Nerman Esau.
Good evening. Lloydminster RCMP have launched an investigation after 3 people were sent to hospital after a fire broke out in a shed. It happened yesterday at a property in the 4600 block of 50th Street. Victor Kaisar has the latest.
This is the remnants of the shed in question that burnt to the ground in the early hours of Tuesday morning. A neighbor and witness to the blaze says hours after the fire, there was still a heavy police presence.
It just seemed odd that the whole yard would be blocked off, that there's police cars continuously monitoring this area without letting people in and out. Again, it just seemed oddly excessive for a shed fire.
Local RCMP have confirmed that one man was taken to the University of Alberta Hospital burn unit in a critical condition. The neighbor, who wished to remain anonymous, says there was evidence that somebody may have been living in that shed.
You could see garbage everywhere. Things were kind of boarded up a bit better, like somebody tried to fix it up a bit. As well as sometimes you'd walk by and you could hear people's voices.
Now, police would not comment when asked to verify if someone was indeed living in the shed.
We had reported this winter once by me and then once by my uncle, both, that there were signs of somebody living in there and that we were concerned and that it should just be dealt with.
There is no further update on the man taken to an Edmonton hospital being treated in a critical condition. 2 other females were taken to Lloydminster Hospital, treated for minor burn injuries, and have since been released. The investigation is still ongoing. Victor Kaisar, Newcap News.
The Lloydminster pastor is upset after his church was egged and spray painted this week. Now, the culprits left derogatory messages and offensive symbols on the south side of the building. And a note, the following images may be disturbing to some. Now, eggshells still litter the ground around the church as staff figure out a plan to clean up the mess. Pastor Robert Pohle first noticed the damage when he came for a Bible study on Wednesday night.
I told my wife, I says, we'll get one of our deacons to take care of that before the weekend. And then we walked into the children's classroom and saw a lot more than what we expected. And things that not only would be offensive to an adult, but stuff that children don't need to see.
Pastor Pohle says they are working with their insurance company to clean up the spray paint, but there's no timeline yet on when the building will be cleaned.
I mean, while it probably costs several $1,000s to clean up the mess, it's just an inconvenience, and it speaks to us that there are some people that just have no respect for other people's property or with regard to their feelings or even to their religion.
Now, police are investigating and believe the mischief happened either late Tuesday night or early Wednesday morning. If you have any information, you're asked to call Lloydminster RCMP at 306-825-6350. Well, it was an announcement that stunned many in Alberta after weeks of controversy on her travel expenses and 2 MLAs leaving her caucus. Premier Alison Redford announced last night that she is stepping down, which will be effective this Sunday. Anna Stanislaw has local reaction.
Quite simply, I am not prepared to allow party and caucus infighting to get in the way of building a better future for our province and for all Albertans. And that is why I am announcing today that with a profound optimism for Alberta's future, I am resigning as Premier of Alberta, effective this Sunday evening.
Premier Redford was almost in tears as she made the announcement on the legislature steps, but it received mixed reaction from some Albertans.
A little bit surprised, yes.
Why is that?
I just didn't expect it.
I think so. I think the Wild Rose will have more of a chance of getting in next time.
You can see it coming. She was either going to resign or be booted out, as far as I'm concerned.
According to the Think HQ poll, Redford's approval ratings were at an all-time low, dropping to 18%, with the Wildrose party leader at 51%. After 2.5 years of leadership, she's the 3rd premier to have resigned.
The premier made a very difficult decision yesterday, and one that she judged to be the best for the best interests of her family, our party, and our province. I really feel honored to have served with her in government and for the tireless work that she's done on behalf of all Albertans.
MLA for Vermilion Lloydminster Richard Starkey says the Progressive Conservatives have provided 43 years of excellent government service and will continue to do so.
Over that period, we've had outstanding leaders for their time come and go, and I'm very confident that we will continue on with that tradition with a new leader when he or she is chosen.
And after less than 24 hours, the Conservative caucus voted Deputy Premier Dave Hancock to be their interim leader and the province's interim premier.
Individuals have to speak for themselves and account for their own actions, but as a caucus, we're moving forward. As a government, we're prepared to govern and continue providing that government that Albertans expect.
By law, the province must hold its next election by the spring of 2016. In the meantime, the Deputy Premier will be sworn in as interim premier on Monday. Anna Stanislaw, Newcap News.
Of course, it was a busy day in politics yesterday for the two provinces our city is a part of. Now, while Alberta is dealing with a shift in leadership, Saskatchewan was busy laying down their budget for 2014. With an expected surplus of $71 million, Saskatchewan's budget is being called a tight one. Lloydminster MLA Tim McMillan says that this budget wasn't an easy one to balance.
It's another balanced budget, another budget where there were some difficult choices to be made. And we chose to make them on the spending side as opposed to raising taxes or anything of that nature.
Now included this year is a health budget increase of $3.25 billion, $103.3 million towards education, and around $242 million towards business risk management programs.
Every budget is a budget of choices, and we made the choices to invest in infrastructure, to invest in growth and keeping up with the growth that our province is currently experiencing.
Now, along with helping to table a balanced budget, Tim McMillan has also announced that he will be running for another term as MLA for the border city.
We'll be asking the people of Lloydminster if they would renew my contract, and I will humbly be going to my supporters for the Saskatchewan Party nomination here in the coming months, and hope to represent Lloydminster for 4 more years.
And the next election will be held in 2016.